Hi YouTube friends! I got a comment asking if streaming horizontal and vertical at the same time with Aitum is really as simple as it looks. The short answer is yes and no. You still have to build each vertical scene to match your horizontal stream. Now this can seem confusing and overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. It's actually pretty simple. I'm gonna walk you through it today. We've got a lot to get to, so you know what? Let's get to it! No time wasting here, let's jump right into OBS and I'll show you how to set this up. Alright, so this is where we left off in the video last time, where I showed you how to add multi-stream, but also a little bit on how to add vertical. But I had a lot of questions with people not really understanding how to set up the vertical. So we're just gonna close down this multi-stream to make it a little bit easier to see what we're doing, and let's go over what we actually have here. Okay, so we've got our vertical canvas, which is exactly the same as our horizontal canvas. It's just vertical. Down here we've got our vertical scenes, which are exactly the same, or can be, as these scenes. They're just the vertical, so they control this canvas. And then we've got our vertical sources, which again are exactly the same as the sources over here if we want them to be. They just happen to be the vertical sources for our vertical thing here. So the last piece we have is transitions. We have scene transitions, which is our regular scene. And we have vertical scene transitions, which is transitions over here in the vertical. We have them different at the moment. This one is a move and this one is fade, but we can just go ahead and change that. All we have to do is click the plus and we can add the move transition here and click OK, and really don't have to change any of this. It's fine. And then we had created this scene here, our camera scene, which as you can see is just the camera and a media source, which in this case would be our game in the background here. I'm using a video source as our game, but it could be an actual game. It's whatever you want it to be. And over here we have vertical camera, which is the scene we added to duplicate this scene. And in it, we have our camera, just like over here, and we have our media source, just like over here. Only I stacked the camera up top and I put our media source down here. So we still have all the elements here, right here, duplicated. We just kind of had to change the layout. And then the last thing that I did here is in our vertical scenes, I right-clicked on vertical camera and I went to the linked scene and I made sure that this scene was linked to the camera scene over here, right? And you'll understand why that matters in a moment. So let's go ahead and build another scene. Let's go with screen. And this is just a screen share that has a microphone and a display capture. Let's go ahead and capture a different display so we're not getting the inception effect. So I'm just gonna go to properties and we'll get this one right there. There we go. All right, so we have that and we have our microphone. Right? We don't really need to worry about the microphones because it's always going to be the same. But what we do need to do is create a vertical scene to match this one. So we're going to click on our vertical scenes and we're going to call this vertical, and then we're just going to mimic our other name. Make it easy. So we got vertical and then screen. Click OK. And then we just go to our vertical sources for this scene. We click the plus and we just want to use that display capture, and we could just use the same one that already exists, right? Boom, and there it is. Now we can modify this any way we want. So we can have it in the center. It really depends how you want to use this. We can make it small so it all fits in here and all that stuff. But the point is to make it look attractive to the viewers who are going to be watching in vertical, right? So what I'm going to do, since this is all we have here, I'll just center it to make sure that whatever we're doing, we just put it in the center here and we're good to go. So the last piece that we need to do is go here to our vertical scene, right click, go to link scenes, and we just want to go ahead and link it with the screen scene because that's what we replicated here, right? And boom, now we did that. So how does that work? Well, if I select camera, boom, you see both of them will change when I select it over here. Then if I select screen, boom, this will change because it's linked. Let's add another one. Let's go to scene 2. So here we use basically different elements, but we're going to go ahead and add another one. So we're going to click plus and we're going to use vertical scene 2. Click OK. And we're just going to add the same stuff we have. So we have a source clone. Let's expand this out a little bit. We have source clone 2, color source, and media source. So the media source is our video in the background, and then source clone 2 is our camera, so that I could change it up however I wanted. I just didn't change it up, but we could. And then the color source is just our red box. So we can add those three things into our scene over here. We go to source clone and source clone 2, boom, that's in there. We click the plus, we go to color source, and I believe that's just color source 1. Boom, now that's in there. And the last piece is our media source, so we can click the plus and we could go to our media and media source, and boom. Okay, so now we've got all three of our items in here. What I'm gonna do is bring our game footage down here, and I'm gonna put our color source up here, and let's bring our source clone to the top, boom. And now we just need to adjust the size, and there we go. Let's go and change this up a little bit. We'll move this to the top, and we'll move our red down, and then we'll move our camera down. So now we've got it on the bottom here. We've got the game footage on top. Okay, so now we've got our vertical scene 2. We want it linked to our regular scene 2. So we right click and we go to link scenes and we link it to scene 2. Boom. So now, there we go. It will go, and it will go. Now sometimes you're going to get, if we look down here, we've got a situation where we have an actual overlay in here with some overlay information. And you know, we can do that in a vertical layout as well. So let's go ahead and grab, create our talking scene. So I'm just going to click plus. We're going to keep it vertical and call it talking, and click OK. And then what we're going to do is go ahead and add our browser source, our overlay, and our camera. So we know it's browser 2, so we're just going to click the plus. We're going to go to our browser source. We're going to select browser 2, right? And there it is. And we'll just make it that big, because that's the only way it's going to really work here, is if we do that. And then we're going to go ahead and grab the overlay. So we'll click the plus, and we're going to go to, once again, this is a media source, and we'll grab the overlay, and we're just going to go ahead and make that the proper size, and we'll plop that down right there, right? And then the last thing we have is our camera, so we can click the plus, and we just go to cam in our video capture device right there. Boom. Now here, if we wanted to make it just like the other scene, then we've got to shrink our camera all the way down and put it in the box right here. And we can definitely do that. We're going to move it down to the bottom here so it looks better. And there we go. So now we basically recreated what we have here. And we can put something up on the top. So for me, I might duplicate the overlay on something like this. I'll just click the plus, and I'm going to go into media, and I'm going to select overlay again. And then what I might do is go and just make the chat big. Yeah, I know it looks ugly right now. Just give me a second here. So now we've got our chat, and then if we just move that overlay down underneath the other stuff, now we can actually create our chat bigger. So we have our full overlay down here, but we can have our chat nice and big up here, and you know, be able to see it pretty good. So there's ways to do this and change it around so it makes sense in the vertical way. Now we've got talking here. All we have to do is right click and go to linked scenes, link it to talking, and then boom, screen pops right up, camera pops right up, scene 2 pops right up, talking pops right up. You can see that when we change our main scene, it will change our vertical scene because they are linked. And we could do the same thing with everything else. So hopefully now it makes sense as to how you can create your vertical canvas to match your horizontal canvas, so that when you do multi-stream, you can have them both aligned and it's not changing one individually. When you change one, they're both going to change and follow each other. Pretty easy, but also pretty powerful and awesome. At least that's what I think. Now, did I miss something, or is there something that you didn't understand? Let me know about it down in the comments and I'll try to clarify it for you. Stream Elements SE.Live does something pretty similar to Aitum's multi-stream and vertical. And it links some of the Stream Elements tools into OBS as well. Would you guys be interested in hearing more about it, or possibly a comparison between the Stream Elements and the Aitum stuff? Well, let me know down in the comments. Now, if you want to see how multi-streaming works, you should check this video out just in case you missed it. And if you're always looking for tools, tips, and tricks to help make you a better live streamer or YouTuber, subscribe to the channel. My name is Michael Fire Jr. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. And I'll see you in the next one.